Hello, hi, welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well let's learn English together. And hello, welcome, good afternoon, hi, and other greetings. Yes, it's me, here, once again, waiting for you to sit down, make yourself comfy, and prepare for another English lesson. So, the first question I need to ask is this. Are you all ready? Yes? Good. And the second question I have to ask is this. Are the animals all ready? Yes? Well, what do you mean you don't know? Well, who should I ask then? Ivan? What, Ivan Pavlov? Yes? Does Ivan know the answer? Okay, if you say so. Ivan, are you there?
Yes, I am here, Gav.
Ah, there you are, Ivan. Have you changed your hair? You look a little bit different. Anyway, never mind all that, Ivan. Are the animals ready?
Yuri, are the animals ready?
What did he say, Ivan?
Yes, Gav. They're ready. They know the drill.
Okay then, we've got the answer. The animals are ready. Yuri told Ivan that they're ready. So, it must be time for us to get started. Okay, now, who knows what week this is? That's right, my chickens of the forest, my lemurs of the plains, my gnus of the, I don't know, the jungle? I can't remember where the gnus come from. Anyway, that's not important. What is important is that this week is week 60. I know. It's very impressive, isn't it? Yes, and the number 60 can be divided by 5 with no remainder, can't it? And what does that mean? Yes, that means that this is a revision week. This week, we'll be looking back at what we've seen in the past 4 weeks. So, if you're all ready, I'll begin. And what about the newest, hairiest member of the team, Nigel? Now, hang on a minute. Well, actually, now that I think about it, perhaps the hairiest, newest member of the team isn't Nigel. It could be Adam. You see, our young camera technician and clapper loader, Adam, he bought a drink a couple of hours ago, some strange, unique soft drink from the local Chinese market. It was a drink made with chimpanzee testosterone. And, well, it made Adam hairier than Nigel. Look what happened to him. So, as you can see, there might be a bit of a problem here. The question we have to ask ourselves is this. Who is the hairiest member of our team? Now, before we start to consider the answer to the question, let's think about the language we used in that question. Well, it's a question, isn't it? Yes, of course it's a question. For a start, it begins with a question word, the word who, which means that we're asking about a person. And yes, I know that Nigel's not a person, he's a guinea pig, but, well, when we're talking about our pets, the animals we keep at home, the animals we love, then we normally speak about them as though they were people too. Anyway, back to the analysis of the question. We can tell that it's a question because it starts with a question word and ends with a question mark. True. But if we look at the structure, the form of the sentence, then we can see that it's a question form from the form of the sentence, can't we? Yes. What do we all remember about the difference between a statement and a question? Yes, that's right. The word order is different, isn't it? When we make a sentence in English, we follow a certain particular pattern, don't we? We start with a subject, I, the cast of the professionals, Mr. T, Evel Knievel, or whoever. Then we follow that subject with a verb, remembering that we have to conjugate the verb. If we're using a verb in the present simple, for example, we remember that we have to conjugate for some different subjects. With regular verbs in the present simple, we have to add an S to the third person singular form when we conjugate. We all remember this, don't we? This means that although I like and you like, when we're talking about the third person singular, he, she, or it, we have to remember to add an S to the infinitive. He likes, she likes, and it likes. The plural forms don't change though. We like, you like, and they like. In the present simple, the only changes we have to worry about are the changes to the third person singular. Now, if the verb ends in SS or SH or CH or X, then we have to remember to add ES, not S, to the end of the infinitive when we're using the third person singular. This means that when we're making sentences with verbs like to pass, to toss, to crash, to wash, to do, to go, to catch, and to touch, we need to remember that we add ES, not S, to the infinitive when we make sentences about the third person singular. He's a very selfless player. He always passes the ball. His brother is a very selfish player. He never passes the ball. That's why we don't win our football matches. The tennis umpire tosses a coin before the match to see who will serve first. My grandpa's a terrible driver. He crashes his car twice a week on average. But even if he's a very bad driver, he's very fussy about how his car looks. He washes his car every morning and every evening. She loves tennis. She goes to Wimbledon to see the tennis tournament every year. He's very lazy. When his family clean the house, he does nothing to help them. He's very frail. He catches a cold anytime someone in the country sneezes. He's so frail, he puts on rubber gloves before he touches the door handle. His sister isn't frail. She boxes. After her boxing matches, she relaxes in a sauna. So, as you can see from those example sentences, if the verb ends in SS, SH, O, CH, or X, then we have to remember to add ES, not just S, to the infinitive when we're making a sentence about the third person singular. Okay, now what else do we remember about verbs in the present simple? Well, we all remember that the verb to be is irregular. With the verb to be, we don't have to worry about adding S or ES to the third person singular, because the verb to be is irregular. That means we have to learn the different forms of the verb for the different subjects. I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, you are, they are. Okay, so that's not very difficult, is it? No, not really. When we want to make a sentence using the present simple form of the verb to be, we have to remember to watch out for the first person singular and the third person singular. All of the other forms of the verb are the same. They're all are. You are, we are, you are, and they are. It's only the first person singular, I, which is am, and the third person singular, he, she, and it, which are is. I am, he is, she is, and it is. Simple enough, really. Now, who remembers what happens with verbs which end in Y? Well, as I'm sure you all remember, verbs which end in Y fall into two separate categories. The first group are the verbs which end in vowel plus Y, and the second group are the verbs which end in consonant plus Y. And you all know what I'm going to ask you, don't you? Yes. Who remembers what vowels and consonants are? Okay, I know you all do, but just to make sure, there are 5 vowels in the English language. A, E, I, O, and U. All of the other 26 letters in the English language, all of the remaining 21 letters are consonants. B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, and Z. So, the first group are the verbs which end in vowel plus Y. These verbs are easy. In the third person singular, they add S. That's all. So, if we look at the verb to buy, for instance, every morning I buy something to drink, and every evening Alfredo Benchfield buys several pints of beer in the pub. And we can see the same pattern when we look at the verb to say. Mary Benchfield says hello to me when I see her in the street. I say hello back. Now, if the verb ends in consonant plus Y, then we all remember what we have to do, don't we? Yes, that's right. For verbs which end in consonant plus Y, we take the Y off the end of the infinitive and replace it with IES. We replace the Y with IES. So, if we look at a sentence using the verb to worry, for example, his mother worries about him all the time. And we can see the same pattern when we look at another verb which ends in consonant plus Y. The verb to try, or the verb to study, for instance. She studies very hard every evening. Her brother tries to follow her example. Okay, so we remember the rules for spelling when we're using verbs which end in Y in the present simple tense for the third person singular. Now, when we make a positive sentence in English, we all remember that we follow this pattern. Subject plus verb plus object. Alfredo likes beer. I like pizza. We like computer games. Now, when we want to make a negative sentence in the present simple, we have to use an auxiliary verb, the verb to do. This means that we place the auxiliary verb with not added to it between the subject and the main verb, like this. Subject plus do, auxiliary verb, plus not, plus main verb, plus object. Alfredo does not, like cider. I do not, like horror films. We do not, like flamenco music. Okay, but there's another part of the present simple that we need to think about too. When we make a positive sentence in English using the present simple form of the verb to be, then we follow the same pattern as with all other sentences, subject plus verb. With sentences where we're using the verb to be, we don't normally have an object, but follow the verb with an adjective, for example. I am, British and Hungarian. You are 23 years old. They are tired. You are interested in microchip technology. Now, when we consider how to make a sentence using the present simple form of the verb to be negative, then we don't use an auxiliary verb. We don't need the auxiliary verb to do. We simply have to add not to the present simple form of the verb to be, like this. I am not, Zimbabwean and Canadian. You're not, or you are not, 2,364 years old. They're not, or they are not, excited. You're not, or you are not, interested in bees. And that's all the time we've got for you today. Yes, our 15 minutes of English is up, and it's time for us all to go home and have a sandwich or something. So, thanks for watching and have a great afternoon and evening. I'll see you all tomorrow for day 2 of the mini revision. And remember, in case you need some more English, www.m5tv.hu. See you later. Bye.